Hello. Last week I visited a friend in Bellingham and decided to bring my camera with me just in case I got a few moments to take a picture here or there. There's only one problem with this idea. I don't have a small camera bag to take just my camera, I only have a bag to take all of my gear. So I decided to take a bag meant for trumpet mutes instead, and this is how it went. Obviously this wasn't the safest way to go, but it was all I can get my hands on before the trip, and I think it turned out okay. The inside is lined with some soft felt, and is divided into two compartments, separated by a removable divider. It isn't all that sturdy except for the top, where the zipper goes around, but it's pretty much the perfect size for what I needed, so I decided to just go for it. And I think it turned out okay. There were a couple of changes I would make to this arrangement, but we'll get to that at the end of the video. I knew from the start that I wouldn't be able to transport my camera body and lens together as one piece. So my next task was to figure out how to wrap the lens so that it wouldn't smash against the body in transport. Initially I put my road bike next to the body of the lens in one compartment, but I really didn't like how loose they were in there together, especially since that would leave the lens by itself in the other compartment. So I separated them and went on the hunt for something to keep the lens safe next to the body. Now I recently bought another mute for my trumpet that came in a foam wrapping for shipping, and then a small drawstring bag for transport when you're out and about. And so I put the wrapping around the lens and then repurposed the bag for the lens. So I put the camera body with a battery and an SD card already in it, because if I forgot everything else, at least if I have my camera, I'll at least have those two things already in it and I could just go. So I put that plus the lens on one side of the divider and then the mic on the other side. And it fit snug enough for me to feel comfortable with what was going on. Again, obviously this is not the most perfect solution, but it's what I had on short notice and it worked. Also, just to keep, again, the most important stuff together, I put the mic cord and my SD card pouch with the lens in the little bag. On the other side of the divider, I tossed the mic, the charging cables for the batteries, and the adapter for the battery, as well as the battery themselves. And it wasn't neat or anything this time. I usually twist tie the cables to keep them neat and by themselves and tidy. But for this trip I was leaving in like 30 seconds after I started packing, so it was fine. The pouch that I used for the batteries was actually the pouch that my new phone charger cable came in. Because why not? Changes I would make short of getting an actual camera bag. I would definitely put something in the bag to make it a little bit more sturdier around the sides. Like I said before, the only really sturdy part is the zipper area, and I don't quite feel safe with that. Especially if I'm like in a busy area where I could like bump into everything. Like, the bag is fine and hold things, but I'm a little afraid that if I take it somewhere crowded, I would damage the equipment. Also, like I mentioned earlier, I would use twist ties to keep the cables neat and stop them from getting tangled in the bag. And I would definitely try to find some way to secure them to the side of the bag so they don't get lost and I can easily retrieve them when I need them. I think the batteries and their chargers worked out best in this test, which isn't bad. At least something worked. And I wouldn't change anything really about those. Yeah, so final thoughts are that it worked. And I'm gonna take it to LA this weekend with me. But I definitely don't think it's a good long-term solution. Yeah, so final thoughts on this setup is that it works and I'm gonna take it to LA with me this weekend. But I don't think it's a good long-term solution. Here's some footage from Bellingham that I got. Unfortunately, it was super overcast and super windy. Like, I was literally getting blown over as I was filming. So I couldn't really get anything spectacular, but the point of the trip was to spend time with my friends, not film a feature-length movie. I really appreciate my friend Emily for driving around aimlessly so that I can get some footage, and to my roommate Carlos for putting up with getting dragged around. So here's some footage from the trip. Enjoy the great tones of the Pacific Northwest, and I will catch you in the next video.